Well, good morning, everybody. It is Monday all day. We know how Mondays go. Who did I miss? I missed Destiny. I missed Mary Glick. I missed our friend Crime Beat. I missed Nene. Nene's in the house. I've been talking with Slim. I've got $20 on Slim if she films her and her husband mud wrestling. Hello, Snazzy. I see you. Nicey Marie made it in. Hello, Casey. Tell me all about your weekend. Mine was just a tad bit insane, and we're going to talk about that in a Discord live today. If you want to join Discord, send me an email and I'll bring you in there. There's no way to replay a live, so you got to be there for the live. Hello, Extra AF. Suzanne. It's too hot to go out. There's not a breath of air. It's hot as hell. So we just hung around the house all weekend. And for those of you in the Nashville area that went to the George Strait concert, well, I'm jealous that you got to see my fave, the king of country music, but I hear it got rained out. We're going to look at that here in a second. First, let's take a second to tell all our friends good morning, happy Monday if there is such a thing. Hello, howdy, how you doing? Welcome your neighbor. All right, our friend Magoo, I'm super jealous, got to go see the king. She dodged a bullet by not going to this concert. So check this out. This is crazy. Obviously, it's off topic and has nothing to do with Mo-tabolizm Monday, but trust me, I got plenty of Mo-tabolizm Monday for you. Woo! There went my Mo-tabolizm through the roof. Lone Wolf just gifted 5 crime lines and lies memberships. Turn on your gifts and join the party.
Good morning to you. We've had some rainfall move through this morning, but the rain mainly has let up. Yesterday, though, was a different story. We had the George Strait concert Friday and Saturday. Let me show you this time lapse that was sent in from a viewer. This was from yesterday evening. Jamie Watts sending this one in. Notice as the rain was starting to come down, they were getting everybody out just before the heaviest of the rainfall began to arrive. And of course, the lightning, that's what really caused the evacuation there of Nissan Stadium. Certainly a very intense round of thunderstorms that we had moved through. And that rain was very, very intense there over that area. Thank you, Jamie, for sending that in and allowing us to share that time lapse. Yes.
Poor George. I hope somebody got him a very nice slicker and an umbrella, because, well, he wears the best Stetson hats, and he's so sweet he could melt in that rain. He's so sweet he could melt in that rain. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. Let's get to the comments. You had a lot to say about a lot of things. Jennifer said, this got to me last night. I slept like poop, thinking about what would make Candus happy enough to jump on panel with a box of summer things. A box of summer things is damn right heartbreaking, and not one word about finding summer. Not even a word about fighting for answers to her disappearance, not even a tear. I think it jarred a lot of us the other night when that happened. And of course, Kathy didn't tell the truth about the box, or she was very, very confused. This is what was put up on a live. Summer's jacket, hair bows, even though her hair's been shaved off. Justin put this on his channel. It looks like a diaper bag. Now, Candus has gone on to say on another show, another night, that she doesn't have money for flyers. Well, why doesn't she text people to cash app her money for flyers as opposed to cigarettes? She put this Paw Patrol shirt up, and yeah, it upset a lot of people. We were told that the box was with the police in Kathy's area. Now, we spoke about this several weeks ago and said it's not his jurisdiction. Why the hell would he want it? Why would he want it? Why would he take it? Why would he want it? It really made me sad for Summer. Really made me sad. Now, I do not know how to pronounce this name. It's Lady P-A-U-P-A-U. Is that Poo Poo? Lady Poo Poo said, "Why all the hate on Grandma? Brooks, she was asleep and had been in the hospital. Why are you always hating on the grandma?" Well, Lady Poo Poo, I'm not hating on her. First off, she went to the ER to check out her knee, not in the hospital. And someone lied about a doctor's appointment, Lady Poo Poo. Somebody lied about that. I would guess it was Candus, because she's the one that said her mom had an appointment that morning. Grandis also doesn't put herself at the horse pond. Yet Hunter said she was there refilling minutes on her phone. She made sure to take herself out of that scenario, which tells me something wasn't quite kosher at the horse pond, Lady Poo Poo. Yes, she said she was sleeping, Lady Poo Poo, but was she sleeping for all those years that the kids were living in filth and being neglected? How did she miss the abuse at the house? Yelling, fighting, drinking, drugging, hitting each other, hitting the kids, making the boys lay on a hot asphalt, the parties with Jose, the parties with underage kids, Lady Poo Poo. What do you mean we're hating on her? Gotta be kidding me. Sarah W. said, "Hearing this makes my stomach hurt. How anyone can say that they were both children." Now she's talking about Don and his victim from when he was 12. "There is a massive difference in mental state of a 5-year-old and a 12 going on 13-year-old. And Don defends himself by saying she seduced him." A 5-year-old. Yes, a 5-year-old. And the medical professional, Daisy, I guess, is buying this hook, line, and sinker. I don't know. Everyone okay with Don and his behavior his entire life is the problem. Him not taking responsibility for his actions in his younger years is the problem. It's a major problem. I think his parents should have been held accountable. And this is the clip she's talking about. This is when Trevor came on panel with Daisy to defend not just Don's victim, but victims of SA. This took a lot of guts for him to do this, considering the lion's den he was in.
Why didn't she speak up about what was done to her?
Exactly. Why didn't she speak up if she was that concerned about Summer?
Why didn't she speak up? She is a victim. She is standing up as a victim of sexual assault.
Okay,
you cannot tell a victim when it's time for them to speak up.
Well, why didn't she do it before? That's what I'd like to know. Before all this happened, if she was that concerned with it. I'm not saying it was right or it was wrong. I'm just saying
well,
that
you're not saying it was wrong for you're not saying it was wrong for her to be sexually assaulted, or not that it was wrong for her to speak up later.
Listen, Trevor. I agree she was, but they were both children. Both of them were children. They were not adults. This was a child situation. Yes. And what if she was going to speak up? Why didn't she speak up before something happened? If she was that concerned,
why didn't she speak up about what was done to her?
This is so infuriating, and there's a trigger warning because I know some of you have been through this. Some people keep the shame and the secrets inside for many reasons. They don't want to upset the family. They're afraid nobody will believe them. Shame, being made fun of. They're afraid to go to court and face their attacker. There's many reasons. Some of you, after the last time we talked about this, reached out to me, and I had tears running down my face of what you've been through and how long it took you to tell and stand up. Now remember, she is a nurse. I don't care if she's a CNA, LPN, RN. Imagine being under her care in one way or another, and her saying, well, why didn't you say something before? Why are you just now worried about it now? Why? I mean, that's crazy. To me, that is such a slap in the face. She's got people on her channel that have spoken up about their own abuse. I can't believe that people were attacking Trevor.
Exactly. Why didn't she speak up if she was that concerned about Summer?
Why didn't she speak up? She is a victim. She is standing up as a victim of sexual assault. You cannot tell a victim when it's time for them to speak up.
Well, why didn't she do it before? That's what I'd like to know. Before all this happened, if she was that concerned with it. I'm not saying it was right or it was wrong. I'm just saying that
you're not saying it was wrong for you're not saying it was wrong for her to be sexually assaulted, or not that it was wrong for her to speak up later.
Don was a child along with Mary. They were both children. Now, if he would have been an adult, that would have been a different situation. But he was not. Don was a child. So was the other person.
Sickening. Sick. Let's have a round of applause for Trevor, because he stood up for what's right and was attacked, and it was allowed. Now for Mo-tabolizm Monday, we're going to go through some of the craziest. That is Candus and her friend Kathy. It is just my opinion that the reason that Kathy has come forward and started the baggie situation and made a YouTube channel and went to the vigil is not because she's advocating for Summer, but because she's trying to get Candus's attention since they're falling out. Because when they were in good graces with each other, texting all the time, Candus living with her, going camping, making Amazon lists, having mud fights, making s'mores, roasting weenies, there were no baggies. There was no vigil. There was no YouTube channel. So now we have all of that, to the point she says, I'm doing something. The rest of you aren't. Oh, or something to that effect. I'd have to go back and look because I don't want to misquote her. Now, we thought that the whole Amazon list was for Candus and Benny. Okay? That's what we thought. But all these camping supplies were for her and Kathy. You can see the portable outdoor blanket. I thought Candus was scared of bears and snakes. That's men's shoes. That could be for the boys. Tailgating grill. Well, they're not going tailgating. There's a charcuterie thing with wine glasses. More blankets. There's some stuff on here for kids. This is not all of it, by the way. a travel bag, a backpack that you can put picnic supplies into, outdoor speaker, there's a thing of nuts, there's a camping hammock, sus deluxe, my friends, sus deluxe, because we know now it was for the two of them. Muscles said, Brooks, check your text when you can. I definitely will, Muscles, welcome. And you guys know how I feel about putting children in adult spaces. I can't stand it. I don't think that any child needs to be advocating for summer. I don't think that they should be exposed to it. That is just my opinion. I would never, ever. My children are grown now and they don't want to hear about my channel. They're like, that's pretty cool, Mom, but yeah, I'm not into that. I don't get it. I don't get it. So we're going to go back in time. I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to come up. I see RJ's in here. The man of the hour, Trev's in. Holly's in the house. You guys subscribe to Common Sense True Crime. Love her channel. We got to leave kids out of it. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Holly. So we're going to go back in time for the first time that we were introduced to Kathy and didn't realize it was Kathy. We know now. This is at Ben Hill Road. And they did a Q&A. Now, I want you guys to pay extra attention to how the Amazon wish list was presented to all of us. I want you guys to pay attention to the Q&A and tell me how many of these questions were jogging your mind then or now. Walking Dead, hang on, what's Walking Dead saying? Walking Dead, do you see my messages? Messages where, hun? Facebook, email, or in here? I got to get caught up, my friend. I don't ignore anybody, but sometimes I get a little behind, especially after the weekend. My weekend, I really try to decompress, but we had a great members live this weekend. Go check it out. Okay, all of this silence is for suspense. You know, kind of like when Steven Spielberg had no music going or anything before the shark ate someone. There was times he didn't have the Jaws theme going. This is for suspense, everybody. Get on the edge of your seat.
Can you hear? Can you all hear me now? You ready to get started?
Hello, everybody. I am a friend of Candus's, and we're going to basically have a Q&A tonight with her.
Okay. Imagine how pissed Tim Mullins was when Kathy stepped on the Meteor manager's toes. Don't forget, a few days ago, Tim posted this on the Fine Summer Wells. Candus Wells thanks everyone, capital E, that helped her out these past couple of weeks. You mean past couple of years, Tim. Her and Dawn are grateful. and are continuing to move forward in order to restore the family, the boys, and hopefully soon Summer Wells. Well, Tim, I don't think they're going to restore anything except a jug of brown stuff.
I want to address something real quick. The wish list. I have heard and seen several things about negative, of course, about the wish list. She has been asked many times to create a wish list, and she just kept putting it off.
She kept putting it off. First off, I never asked for a wish list. Look at Candus's face. She's looking over at her. So let me ask you, my friends, why did she keep putting off the wish list until Dawn went to jail and her and Kathy decided to move in together and go camping together? Who in here asked for Candus's wish list? Now you're going to notice something missing from this conversation.
I came and I helped her create the wish list at the request of the public. So just wanted to clarify her wish list.
At the request of the public. I consider myself part of the public, and it never crossed my damn mind. Call me stupid. I have a wish list. I sent it to my husband 2 weeks before every damn holiday.
You are not obligated in any way, shape, or form to do anything. But for those that have asked, the link will be in the chat if you choose.
Okay, this is where we're off the hook, ladies and gentlemen. You are not obligated to do anything. Well, shit fire. I thought I had to buy the whole thing. Thank you. So we're not obligated.
Cash App will be in the chat if you choose. You are not obligated to do anything. Nothing. So we're going to ask her a few questions, and we're going to try to get a few questions from the chat. She just wanted to acknowledge and say hello to people.
Candus shouldn't be coughing around her friend. And I want to let you guys know, this isn't hating on Kathy, because Kathy, Daisy, Jinkies, they are in a long line, a long list of people that Candus has used, taken advantage of, and then cried victim. Okay? Now, I will say this about Kathy. No way I would let a suspect be around my minor child. Granddaughter, daughter, dog that's on their last leg, I wouldn't do it. She has said that she called her local law enforcement to tell them Candus was staying with her. The day I have to let Tulsa Police Department know I've got an overnight guest is the day their ass better go to a Red Roof Inn like Carly Russell. I'll even give them the Cheez-Its.
And answer some questions. So we will get started. A lot of these are questions that have YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Believe it or not, Candus, everybody is loving your hair and wants to know, are you growing it back or will you cut it again?
No, I'm going to let it grow. As long as I can grow it.
Groundbreaking. I was so glad this was addressed. I've been tossing and turning every night up until this. Are you going to cut your hair, Candus, or are you going to let it grow? Candus, this was the ice-breaking question. No, I'm going to let it grow. Everyone, we can now get on with our Monday because I know this has really been on people's minds.
And are you taking care of yourself? Several people have made comments about you losing weight. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you eating like you should? Everybody knows it's stressful for you, but are you taking care of yourself?
Yes, I'm taking care of myself.
Okay, thank God. More weight off my shoulders, because I have been worried about Candus eating and if she's taking care of herself. Now then, let's go to a couple of nights ago. This is a screenshot from Daisy's channel. There's Daisy. Can said, I don't know how much I can handle or live this anymore. Now, I'm speaking for myself. I am not a medical professional. All I've ever done is be like a medical assistant, receptionist, make appointments. But me, myself, have paid enough attention at the doctor's office to know that if somebody makes a comment like this, I'm not going to continue my show for another 3, 4, 5 hours. What I'm going to do is stop it. I'm going to contact this person. She knows how to get a hold of her and say, you need to go to the ER right now. Because a comment like this is very dangerous. But she put it on the screen. This is dangerous, dangerous. This is not something, a comment like this is not something that can be ignored, okay? And we all know that if something happens to Candus, we all know this, then how are we ever going to know what happened to Summer Wells?
Very much so.
Okay. A lot of people want to know, do you need anything? Is there anything that you need?
That's a tough one. I really don't need much of anything.
Okay.
Well, somebody sounds a little disappointed by her saying, I don't really need much of anything. This is not a typical Candus, because she was whining the other day about not having money for flyers. You're not going to get a lot of help with your Amazon wish list when you say, I don't really need much of anything. But hey, more weight off our shoulders, okay? She doesn't need anything. Mind you, this was over a year ago, but this is how this all started. Again, we thought the Amazon list was for Benny or Earn the Burn.
All right. We want to ask you how are things coming on the house? How is the remodel, the upgrade, whatever you want to call it? How is that coming along?
I'm doing one day at a time with the house. Is what I'm
doing. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, if you're a friend of someone who is abusing alcohol, like it's rumored that Cant does, when they say something like, I'm taking it one day at a time on the house, that's a good window to jump out of and say, speaking of one day at a time, let's try one day at a time not drinking. Let's give the old liver, heart, brain, circulatory system, nervous system, kidneys a break. Who was worried about the house? Anybody? Anybody? We have 574 people in here. Who was worried about the house? Lone Wolf is backstage. Let's see what he thinks. Lone Wolf, were you worried about any of these questions?
I was worried about all the questions. And the fact that Candus was smirking every time a question was asked. So the entire conversation's leading.
Oh, I don't think it's leading. This is just my opinion. We can agree to disagree. I think it's more deflection away from the case of Summer Wells. That's what I think.
Well, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Has been since day one.
And back to the comment I got from Lady Poo Poo about why are you hating on Grandis? I'm not hating on Grandis. Like I said, was she asleep for 3 years? Her knee's not so hurt that she can't pick up junk and tell him, don't be drinking like that around my grandkids. Don't leave my grandkids laying on hot asphalt. How come she didn't do any of those things? How come when the boys were taken into the foster care system, or her 2 oldest grandchildren were taken by the state of Wisconsin, why did she never step in and do an emergency order and get her grandkids? Some of you in here have had to do it. And when grandparents ignore what is going on with their grandkids, it ends very badly. Let's look at the case of Quentin Simon. When Billy turned the other cheek, so to speak, Quentin Simon is no longer here. Look up the case of Keaton Boggs. That grandmother's in jail. Keaton Boggs was terribly abused, and she did nothing about it. Of course, from what I understand, she was part of the abuse. So Lady Poo Poo needs to look into this.
There has been, and I'm obviously.
Okay, that sound right there. Some of you know this sound, some of you don't. That was a Cash App. As Candus is sitting there, she received a Cash App. Listen to this again.
At a time with the house is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Coming up, listen.
There has been, and I'm obviously.
Cha-ching! Cha-ching! But she doesn't have money for flyers. Do you think when she just got that cha-ching that she used that money for flyers? Lone Wolf, you're in the hot seat. When she got that cha-ching, do you think she used that for flyers?
No, not at all. Matter of fact, I'd like to know what happened to the couple thousand flyers that was paid for by somebody else. That she wouldn't accept.
I heard they sat out in the damn rain and got rained on, but that's what I heard. You never know. Yeah, people have stood up for Summer Wells. So when I hear this from Meteor Manager, Candus wants to thank everybody that helped her out these past couple of weeks. What about the past couple of years, you fruitcake? What about the last couple of years?
You weren't aware of it, but please let's get this out there. Did you make an e-begging post? And what that is, people are calling it e-begging because there was a post created that supposedly was put in a Facebook group that where you asked someone if you could put your Cash App there, if they would be okay with it. And it has floated around that you were begging for money. Was that you? Did you create that?
No, I did not. I don't even know what e-begging is. I've never.
Okay, she seems delighted with this question. She's smiling. Okay, she is in that Facebook group. It is her Facebook account, not the one that she created, that Taz Fu or whatever a few months ago that shows she's married to Donnie Wells. It was her account, and it's her Cash App. That same Cash App was just shared on this show, not mine. This one that Kathy and Candus are doing. That Cash App was shared by Benny Keys. That same Cash App that she doesn't know where it came from is currently being shared on Daisy's channel and others. But look at the surprise on her face. I don't know what e-begging is. Well, that's not what we're talking about. Did you put it in this Facebook group? The answer is yes, she did. So we have yet another lie. Why is she saying no, I didn't? But the exact same Cash App is being shared on her channel when this went live. What do you think, Lone Wolf?
They're all scammers. They're all scammers. They're all liars. They're all playing on the hearts of the vulnerable, which is all of us that have either had some sort of trauma within our lives or uh, somebody close to us that has had trauma in their lives. And I mean, it's the most profitable thing that a person can do. And just to let your audience know, okay, even though I'm not organized religious, I am spiritual, I am Native American, I do not stand politically correct. I question everything and I judge according to the facts that I see in front of me. Since the beginning of this case, I have gone all the way back to when Candus's first two children were taken, which shows a very violent history within Candus. So if anybody wants to hate on Brooks, don't hate on her just because I'm up on panel. Come
No.
hate on me because
Anything
I'll enjoy it.
No, we're all in the same boat here, and we know that Candus has a violent history. We know that Candus lost two children in Wisconsin. We know Summer is missing. We know her three boys are in foster care. So why would anybody let her profit from failing all these children? I don't understand it. Why would anybody let her profit? Because what she gets the money for is not ever what it goes to. I mean, fool you once, shame on can't. Fool you 13, 14 times, well, shame on you. Crazy. All right, so this is where she says, I don't even know what e-begging is.
Never heard of it until just now.
I also want to make some people aware that there was recently a GoFundMe that we got shut down. It was created by someone that Candus had not even heard of.
It's her Cash App. Mean Guy Rapper, I know that you just made another profile to come in here and troll. I'm not as nice as I used to be given all these chances. So I went ahead and blocked you again. I don't care how many profiles you make. You've already caused too much trouble around here, and you're not here for Summer Wells. Just like you're not in other shows for Harmony Montgomery, Quentin Simon, or any of them. So don't even try it again. You're just gonna be blocked. All right, so she's never even heard of this Cash App. It's the one that's currently being spread around on other channels.
We had it reported and had it shut down. If you see a GoFundMe,
nope, it's the exact same one. It's the exact same one. Listen to this again.
Someone that Candus had not even heard of. We had it reported and had it shut down. If you see a GoFundMe, please report it. If there ever becomes one, you will be made aware of it. But if you see
I'll be the
one,
first one to let you know.
Absolutely report it. It is
Candus. If Candus gets a GoFundMe, she's going to be the first one to let us know. Again, more weight off my shoulders. How about you, Lone Wolf? Are you feeling better with all these revelations?
Not at all. Not in the least bit.
not her or done by her or anyone close to her. Okay, moving along. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Summer. What holiday did Summer like the best?
She liked her birthday the best, but she also liked Christmas.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about Summer. What holiday did she like the best? We're not concerned with that. I think we have more questions about what happened June 15th, or like the TBI says, what led up to the events of June 15th. Leslie has a way of phrasing it. What led up to the events of June 15th? I've never seen Ronnie Lawson, Pruitt, or Leslie get in front of a microphone and say, we are really trying to figure out what holidays Summer Wells liked the best. So, yeah.
So she liked those gifts.
Yeah, she liked them presents for sure.
So that was the best. That's what she liked best about Christmas and her birthday was the presents and the birthday cake.
Just being together as a family.
Oh, hi. Yes. Okay. Let's see. What was Summer's favorite food?
She liked pizza, but she also liked different kinds, like French fries were her favorite.
Her favorite.
But the day of June 15th, after swimming and running around all day, supposedly all she had on her little belly was a cold hot dog. When they were at Sonic, if she loves French fries so much, why did she just get a slushie? Why? Why? Lone Wolf, it shows that your devices are not connected. You're going to have to get out and come back in. Trev Times said were, past tense. Yes. What do you know?
I think that's most kids. They love French fries.
Yeah.
Could eat them whether they're made at home, whether they're done at a fast food place. We all know what cartoons Summer liked to watch, of course. But what else did she like to watch? What are the cartoons?
She liked a bunch of different cartoons. From My Little Pony to Ren Tin Tin, just all kinds of different ones.
All right.
Groundbreaking. Now then, you have one of the suspects there. Nope, Ronnie Lawson has never said Candus is a suspect. Ronnie Lawson has never said Dawn is a suspect. He's never said Grandis is a suspect. Neither is TBI. They said they really don't want to talk about, they don't really want to talk about persons of interest or suspects. They say there is a criminal investigation. My question is, would there be a criminal investigation if Summer wandered off? I don't know. I'm not law enforcement. I certainly don't want to get myself in trouble by calling her a suspect. My question is, would she be a suspect considering she was there when Summer disappeared? Have we ever seen a news article, a press conference where they said the family is fully cooperating and they're not the focus of this investigation? No. No. Matter of fact, Candus herself said Summer didn't walk off. If you look at this on the screen, you can screenshot it. This was from about 2 years ago. She was on Facebook trying to find the abductor, and she's talking to someone named Romano. She said, you're right. She didn't just walk off. This is a significant statement, and this is her Facebook, one of many that she's had over the years. And you see her right there. You're right. She didn't just walk off. Well, this Q&A would be a good chance to ask, well, what happened? If she didn't just walk off and the FBI said there's no abduction, then let us in. What's going on? Just my opinion.
So I think that's all we're going to do tonight as far as quick questions. If there's anybody in chat that has a question, go ahead and ask now. We'll try to get to a very few. Once again, you are not obligated at all to send anything to her Cash App or anything off the wish list. It is there for those of you that have asked about it and requested it. So please know that those links are in the chat if you need them. Okay, here's a question, Candus.
Yeah, okay.
Could Summer tie her shoes yet? Or did she have to have basically the Velcro kind?
She liked Velcro the best. She really didn't like to try to tie them.
It was easy for her
It
to
was
get on it
easier.
quick and
She
go.
could put them on and go.
Okay, all right. Let's see.
Woohoo! Woo! Thank you, Candus. She liked to put them on and go. But you said she was barefoot June 15th, and we're supposed to believe that she took off. Well, according to some creators, she took off barefoot, and I don't know. I don't know. TBI says they haven't ruled out foul play.
Right now, the Cash App and the wish list is all Candus has. And that is the only form of payments that she can receive is through Cash App. She does not have a PayPal, a Venmo, anything like that. All different things on the farm said, "You look pretty, Candus."
Thank you very much.
Okay, from what I was told, all different things on the farm was Daisy's, the original name of her channel. Then she changed it. I don't know. You'd have to ask her. So she's in there telling Candus she looks pretty.
I appreciate that.
Oh. How did you pick Summer's name?
Actually, I didn't pick Summer's name. I let her daddy pick her name. I named all three of the boys, so I figured I had to let Donnie pick Summer's name out.
And if you've been in some of our members' lives, we have discussed where Dawn got Summer's name. I cannot do it on a public live, though. So please don't put it in the chat for those of you that are members.
Was it something out of the blue, or did he?
It took him about 3 weeks to 4 weeks to be able to come up with a name that he liked.
Everybody loves her name.
He just put it together about 3 or 4 weeks it took him, and he finally come up with the perfect name for her.
Charlene Smith says, "Candus, you look great. Thank you for doing this. They love to hear about Summer and to take care of yourself."
I sure will. Thank you very much.
What kind of dogs do you have? Are they mutts? Are they like?
They're a mixed breed.
A mixed breed, okay.
Okay, we already knew that the dogs were a mixed breed. I think a good question here would have been when they were asking about the dogs to say, where were the dogs on June 15th when Summer disappeared? Dawn said they weren't there that day. They checked into the Four Seasons and they were getting their paws done and their ears clean. So where were all the dogs the day of? The dogs were left behind when she went off to Kathy's house because the Humane Society had to go up there, wrangle them, and put them in good homes. That's exactly what happened. So where were they on June 15th? Because we know that when other creators were there, the dogs were there. One of the most famous interviews, the link is up. One of the most famous interviews was with Chris McDonough, and the dogs were all over. We've heard WJHL when they've been on the property. The dogs were there. But the day of Summer's disappearance, the dogs were off playing coin pusher and drinking R&R. Correct? Where were the dogs? Here's the link, Trev. Hello, Trevor. How was your weekend and how are you feeling?
It was good, and I'm doing okay. How are you?
Had a stressful weekend, but we'll talk about that in Discord today. Got some stuff going on I need to discuss with you guys. Get your advice, etc., etc. So,
You know, I'm all ears.
You got it. You got it. I'm going to need a lot of help. Okay, so here we go. I know a lot of weight is off of your shoulders because you now know that Summer liked French fries and pizza. She liked Velcro shoes. Christmas, her birthday. Candus is growing her hair out, as we've seen. She's had a lot of compliments about that. Candus has taken the house one day at a time. You're not obligated to send her a Cash App, and you're not obligated to buy anything from her wish list. So thank goodness that elephant's out of the room, because I know you were tossing and turning over that one. That could have been what gotten you sick, Trevor. So you're going to have a miraculous recovery, just like Candus has had from her stroke, her heart, her broken ribs, and her broken ankle. Praise Jesus. So tell me, what do you think about this?
Amen. But this really bothers me, and maybe I'm on my own on this. But how long ago was this roughly?
This was in April of 2022. Yes, I saved it because it made me so damn mad.
Yeah. So this was even closer after she went missing than we are now. And the way she talks, like, don't get me wrong, hearing about a victim, Summer or any other victim, is great. You know, she goes up and tells us what she likes and things like that. But the way that the manner she talks about her is like she's honoring her. Like when you hear, like you, again, it's not comparing cases, but the other day you played Al talking about Gannon, and he was talking about the things he liked because, you know, it's now in fact of honoring him since he's no longer with us. But with Summer, she's still missing. And at that time, she had been missing less time than she is now. But Candus is talking about her in such like an honoring. She liked this. Her favorites were this. I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me. Not that I don't like hearing that stuff, but it's just the manner that she's talking about her.
This was roughly 10 months after the disappearance of Summer Wells, and it makes me very, very angry. To go back to what I said earlier in the show, I don't know if you saw it or not. Let me tell you, any advocacy for a missing child, not just Summer Wells, any missing child, I'm all for. But if Kathy's intent is to get Candus's attention, then it's not cool. Because as we know, they were kayaking, roasting weenies, making s'mores. They were together last June of 2022. They did not go to the vigil. And all of this advocacy started after Candus told her, take a hike. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And she, on her show, Kathy said she went back to Dawn. Now, if, let's say I'm going to pick on Angel P. If Angel P says, I don't want to talk to you anymore, You're an asshole. You're a bitch. I don't want to talk to you. I wouldn't go, oh, Angel P went back to her husband. That's just me. I can't make sense of it. Can you help me, Trev?
No, I mean that's what you would think would be the logical thing.
So why was Kathy and her little granddaughter at the vigil? Her granddaughter was on the news talking about how she's not gonna, they're not, it's become bigger than they imagined, and they're not going to stop until Summer's found. I felt terrible for that little girl. Terrible. Because it's just my opinion. My opinion. We don't put children in adult spaces. That's just me.
The true crime community is full of some crazy people. I would not expose a child to that.
No, and that's the reason I warn on here so much. I mean, everyone's an adult. Everyone's got a brain, between their ears. This is, for adults. Watch where you step, because in the true crime community, you don't know what you're going to run into. Don't think that these people are really, really concerned about what's going on. Yes, I know some do it for money, but some people are really, really up to no good. And
Yes.
some people really want to advocate for the missing. Before I get back to this, guys, we have a very special birthday today. Our friend Chris Melcher here has been on this channel and fighting for Summer for a couple of years. I've seen her around. Let's take a second and tell our friend Chris happy birthday. And many more on Channel 4. You got it. All right, now to more groundbreaking questions. Trev, anytime you need me to pause this and tell me what weight's been taken off your shoulders, please let me know.
I got you.
Y'all, please just bear with her. She's just getting mods. It is overwhelming right now. She wanted to show her appreciation.
Sweet dreams. I like my coffee with some French vanilla creamer in it.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes.
Did she just tell us how she likes her coffee?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's got to be the missing link. This is what we've been waiting on for 2 years.
Yeah. Why didn't TBI think to ask any of these damn questions, Trev?
I mean, Chris had one of the first interviews with her and didn't even ask her what her coffee was. I am so disappointed.
Trev, how do you like your coffee?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Okay, well, I just take mine with a splash of half and half. I don't like French vanilla creamer or anything like that. Sonia's my barista. She sends me coffee all the time. She knows she's got to keep me going. Well, Trev, I can't believe we're still sitting here looking for Summer Wells with this groundbreaking interview. Diane Sawyer, eat your heart out, because this is exactly how you talk to the mother of a missing child who is probably a suspect. French vanilla creamer in her coffee. All right, I'm going to write that down right now.
Dawn Not So Sweet says you look refreshed, Candus.
Thank you. I feel a little bit refreshed tonight.
I bet you do. I bet you do. All right. So she feels refreshed tonight. Well, go back to I'm not trying to compare cases, but We had Brandy Neal on the show the other day. I would call her everything but refreshed. If you've ever seen the interviews before they were found of Sean Hornbeck's mother, or thank you, May, for the super sticker. Thank you, Honey Buns. That helps me immensely with recording hours, StreamYard, members prizes. Thank you so much, Honey Buns. Okay. Sean Hornbeck, Ben Owensby, JC Dugard. We saw the Smart family basically withering away in front of us every time they went on TV. There's many others. You never heard any of these people with missing children say, I'm refreshed. I feel pretty refreshed.
Well, you have to do something to be worn out. I mean, these other people are fighting day and night. I mean, like you said, we had Brandy on here, and that's all. I mean, she wouldn't want to talk about anything else. If that's all she cares about, and that's all she's been fighting for all this time. Now it's just been over 2 years. She's worn down because she's been doing nothing but fighting for him. Mm-hmm. Candus has been going on here and doing this crap that she's doing on this video, or pulling pranks, or refusing to go on the news for 13 days. I mean, these kind of things. Of course, she's refreshed. She's not doing anything compared to these other parents that are fighting for their kids.
We've had the family of Michaela Jones on. If you think Stacey Jones is ever refreshed, you're wrong. And now she's had another tragedy in her family. Her daughter is in the hospital from a very bad car wreck. We've had the family of Alana Raffield on here. These people are giving money to Candus Wells to feed her habits. Alana Raffield's family needs a war chest to fight the police in Prague, Oklahoma, because their daughter was murdered. You're never going to hear Alana's parents refreshed. Ever.
I'll ask you this, because you've talked to more of these families than I have. How many of them go on all these kind of things and treat themselves as celebrities? They go on and talk about their lives and whatever things they like.
When they stop crying.
There you go.
When they stop crying, they don't want to do this. They want to do what they have to do.
Exactly.
They don't like their daily routine being talking to, well, like the family of Alana Raffield, talking to the law firm that had to handle to get after the police to solve this. They don't want to be like Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones, she doesn't want to spend her day writing letters to the attorney general. Brandy Neal, she's trying to keep her head above the water, take care of her other children, go to work. She doesn't like her daily routine being to have to call the police. She wants her son home. They're not playing coin pusher and kayaking with Kathy.
Because nothing else matters to them more than that. More than fighting for their kid, for their family. And I don't see that here. I'm not going to say what Candus feels. I don't know what she feels, but she doesn't show it well if she feels like that. Yeah.
They have to make themselves do normal activities for their other children. And that's hard. That's hard. This one doesn't have a problem with it. And some people say that's just how she handles it. Momo Shark, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Me love you long time. I don't get it. I don't get it. When OJ gets out, I about call the U.S. Marshals trying to find my cat. I was driving around one morning. I went to get some sausage rolls for Greg and I. And this family they were almost stopping traffic, handing out flyers about their cat, trying to find their cat. Well, I took a picture of the flyer, put it on Facebook, and I said, if you're in the Jinx, Oklahoma area, be on the look for this cat. And so many people left a comment, oh, what a pretty cat. And I can't tell you how many people left me comments saying they're doing more for the cat than Candus does for her missing daughter.
You know how sad that is? I mean, it's pitiful, but it's sad for Summer, because when we're out here trying to push for answers and keep Summer's name out there, you usually have the support of the family in that. Not that they need to be thanking you, but you have them doing it as well, because that's going to be the loudest voice. We're not Summer's parents. We didn't know Summer before she went missing. We don't know her. But they are the ones that need to be out there being her biggest voice. And I feel like they went silent when she needed them the loudest. And that makes this a uphill battle just to keep her name out there.
Mm-mm. You know, and it's hard for people like me and you and all our friends in chat right now. We want to keep Summer's name out there, and we get attacked on other channels and called tragedy pimps because we're talking about Summer Wells. Don't let people bully you into not talking about Summer Wells. Don't.
Never.
I've got thick skin. Trevor's got thick skin. He jumped straight in the deep end with the sharks, let me tell you. We heard him on panel the other night.
But if y'all saw my little meme the other day, it's true. There's a blank list of people who can shut us up about talking about Summer.
That was a great meme. All right, so we have cleared up the coffee, French fries, which I still want to know if she likes French fries so much. Sonic sells them all day. Why didn't she get her a bag of French fries after swimming? Anytime my kids went swimming, they ate like they were in the Army.
Duchess, I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing just as good as I am right now tonight.
Outside the box said you should go without a ball cap more often.
I like to wear my ball cap. Keeps the hair out of my face.
Well, she didn't have a ball cap on now, and I don't see any hairpins, but whatever. Again, what a wonderful statement. What a wonderful thing to tell us. And you're exactly right, Liplock. I was getting ready to say something about this. Here is our comment of the day. There's too many words going through my head to have a word of the day. Trevor said, and I'm going to share this again. They went silent when Summer needed them to be the loudest. Screenshot that, share that. They went silent when Summer needed them to be the loudest.
And that's why what we're doing is even more important. Not us as individuals, but us as Summer's Army. We have to keep pushing her name out there, keep her story out there, because people that should be don't seem to be.
That gave me chills. And people continue to try to shut up channels that are advocating for Summer Wells. Summer Wells has been missing for over 2 years. We don't know if she wandered off. We don't know if there was foul play. We know we're not giving up. We do know that the FBI card team said there's no abduction. We know that Detective Pruitt, love him or hate him, said there's no evidence she was trafficked out of the area. So according to Daisy, she's just being trafficked around Hawkins County, I guess. I don't know. Explain that to me, Trev.
That's what I was told. That's what she said. I don't know how that exactly works. We don't know what happened, but we know what's in front of us, and that's that, as we saw, that there is a criminal investigation, that there is no evidence of abduction, and we know that there was a hugely extensive search and she wasn't found. No, none of those things rule things out, but they lean certain ways. When detectives come on and say cases bleed over into each other, that's usually pointing towards criminality, because why would a CPS case bleed into a wandering off case? Or why would a CPS case bleed into an abduction case?
And that's another good question. The CPS case, Pruitt said, bled over into this, he said. There's not going to be a case if she wandered off. Leslie said this is a criminal investigation because we can't rule out foul play. How many times in other cases have the police not given us information? Well, because of social media, because they don't want a bunch of BS calls. Like I said, imagine Detective Pruitt, his voicemail in the mornings. Hello, this is Detective Pruitt. Beep. Hi, did you hear Jody Sue last night? She said she never saw Candus looking for Summer.
Go to hour 6, minute 32, 14 seconds, and listen to this, Detective Pruitt.
Did you hear that Candus has a black eye? Detective Pruitt's like, well, what do you want me to tell you? Welcome, new members. It is raining members. You're going to love it here.
Not a better place to be a member. Can't find one.
Thank you, Trev.
We love it here.
Summer Swing has not been taken down. It is not gone. It's still exactly where it was.
Yeah, it's not going nowhere.
Not only is it not going anywhere, on her birthday, someone, whether it was Tim or whoever, hung a creepy dress from it and made a video that looked like the damn Blair Witch Project.
Oh, that was so creepy.
Sorry for the little breaks in between, y'all. We're trying to keep up and make everybody happy. And Samantha Bree says, thank you for spending time with us, Candus.
Well, thank you for y'all watching and coming out. Listen to what I have to say. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Jennifer Watts for the tulip bulbs. I appreciate that.
Tulip bulbs? Tulip bulbs?
You know, the important things.
Don't get me wrong. I love tulips. I love them. But we know what Candus does with her tulips. Shout out for the tulip bulbs.
Did Summer have a favorite flower? Did she like everything in bloom? Did she?
She liked cactuses the best, but she would use any kind of flower. She liked to pick flowers out of the yard.
Convenient. Let's go through what was said. Now, mind you, these were people that were basically arguing with Candus the day after Summer went missing. Okay, news clips and things like that. Candus said she was pouring Summer a bowl of cereal. And Summer walked out the door. I guess she has eyes in the back of her head. Candus said she just walked out the door. Candus said she was doing dishes and Summer walked out the door. Ronnie Lawson said that he was told the boys saw her walk out the door. Then we hear that they're out there planting these succulents, her and her mother. Lady Poo Poo, I hope you're listening to this. And that somebody got into the basement and got Summer. Now, you can see the dog trail from where the cactuses were being planted. This was after the peppermint they got for free at Sonic. And you would be able to see or hear the basement door shut. So this is a good one. Her favorite flower is cactus. Is there a lot of cactus in East Tennessee, Trevor?
Not that I'm aware of.
Have you ever been to Arizona? Arizona's my jam. I love seeing those cactus there. So do you see a lot of cactus around there that a 5-year-old would say, oh, look over there? And one of her parents or grandmother would say, that's a cactus.
Not anywhere I've been in this area. That's for sure.
Well, then how would a 5-year-old like cactus the best?
It's a good question.
Makes no sense to me, but all right.
Dandelions. She liked them little, what are the ones called with the little white things? You can blow them and they just fly everywhere. She'd love those.
Oh, those little, we've always called them little wish flowers.
I
You
call
blow
them
them and make a
puffballs,
wish.
but I don't know what they
Yeah,
are.
you blow them and make a wish. Who was the kid at the hotel with you? I'm going to answer this because it was not Summer. It was my child. Okay? Move along.
Move along. So here is my question, and I have no problem if Kathy ever wants to come on and explain this, because I've asked for several months. Who, and maybe, hopefully everybody in chat can help me with this. Who would let their minor child around Candus Wells? Candus Wells lost 2 children to the state of Wisconsin, 3 to the state of Tennessee, and Summer is missing. Now, we've already heard how she likes her coffee. She's growing her hair out. She's refreshed, ready to take on another day. So move along. That's my child. Question would be, if I was in that chat, why are you letting your child around Candus? Aren't you scared one of these goofballs on the internet? And I'm not suggesting this. I can't make it more clear. Isn't going to call CPS and report that you had a woman that has harmed other children living with you, who is a known addict? Aren't you worried about that? Not to mention the harm that could have come to your child. Am I being paranoid here, Trev?
No, and I mean, I can ask you as a mother, what's more important than the safety of your children?
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Lone Wolf, thank you for the super sticker, said everything in Summer's case is opposite day. She already knew the stories. She already knew. She had to have. Because she's talking about the YouTube streets and what goes on around there. She already knew all this.
Let's even say that she didn't. I mean, I would assume she did, but let's say she did. So, Brooks, you have a friend that you start being around, and she's around your kids, and then she starts telling you stories about how her kids are in the care of the state, and you start hearing about her past with other kids and her criminal history. You're not going to keep being that person's friend. You're going to be like, I need to protect my children. I'm sorry, I can't be your friend.
No, and to be quite honest, this happened to me one time. A friend of mine had not told me about some issues her daughter was having. Well, I invited her daughter and her little girl over to swim. And as they were over swimming, this is at our old house, and she was talking about how she has to do all this stuff with CPS. And so about this time when she's, telling me all this, for one, she's telling me this story in front of her daughter. Okay. It's actually called DHS here. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is the fact she was having to deal with the government about her parenting. So as they were walking out, she had her daughter in the car. I pulled her over to the side a little bit, not for too long, and I just said, I wish you well, but I can't have you here because I can't have my children in any danger. And mind you, at that point, my boys were big enough to take care of themselves. But no, the answer is no. Now imagine someone with this history. You've lost 2 to Wisconsin, 3 to Tennessee. Everyone's a suspect and your daughter's missing. Sounds like a good camping buddy to me. Sounds like a good camping buddy to me. Woo!
Yeah, and if Kathy or somebody wants to put themselves around her, that's on you. But to expose a kid to that, it's just not right. That kid doesn't have a choice to be around her, and you should protect your kid. I'm not telling anybody how to parent, but my perspective would be, you take care of your kid, you put that over having a friend.
Yeah, you can be friends and text her. You don't move her in the house with you. Nah.
When is your birthday, Candus?
My birthday is May 3rd of 1982.
You're going to be an old lady.
Yeah, I'll be 40. Thanks.
Oh, my birthday's May 3rd, 1982. Oh, you're going to be an old lady. And she's laughing like she's talking to a buddy at the bar. Yeah, thanks.
I'm sorry we cannot do anything about the chat right now. We were just wanting to get on for just a few minutes just to answer some questions, for her to say hello, see if we could answer some questions that people have been asking, and tell those of you supporters that it is very much appreciated.
Very much so.
Besides the lack of concern for Summer, what is sad about this is these are people in chat that are vested. They are vested in the case of Summer Wells. And some of them believe that Candus was honestly outside planting cactus or succulents and honestly didn't see an abductor come up the dog trail or come out of the basement door or hear a car or anything. They buy this hook, line, and sinker. To me, that is manipulating emotions.
It is. Nothing's going to draw at your heart more than a case, more than like, a missing child, or you hear a sad story about a child, right? You hear about a child that's sick or something bad happened to them. It hurts your heart. Children are innocent and they're the ones we need to take care of. So when we hear these things, it tugs at your heart. So when you play on that, it's dirty. You know that people are invested with their hearts, and when you start investing with your emotions, sometimes logic gets skipped out on, and you miss out on some things that are like, that's a little weird, because you're invested with your heart. So when you play at somebody's heart like that, you're going to get sympathy through manipulation.
100%. And there are some people that believe this was at 10 months roundabout since Summer had been missing. And that's kind of when it started. Well, Don's in jail. He would have spilled the beans by now. And if Candus did something, she would be in jail for it. It doesn't always go that way. Look at the Kyron Horman case. They have not found Kyron Horman. They've had a lot of issues in Portland, Oregon. They're still laser focused on Terry Horman. Now it's Terry Vasquez, who was his stepmother. And they still have not made an arrest. Does that mean Kyron isn't missing? Nope. Does that mean that Terry didn't do anything? Not since they haven't publicly cleared her. She knows she's still a suspect. They haven't publicly named her, but sometimes to find the truth, it takes a long time.
Especially when someone's still missing. So
Right.
people have to see it. It creates a lot more. Not that cases cannot be done without somebody being found. And I'm not saying Summer is 100% deceased, but if she is and she has not been found, it makes it harder to make a case. It just does.
Absolutely, because without the victim to tell you what happened, or earmuffs if you need them, because I'm going to be grim, or the victim's body to let their body tell you the story of what was done to them, it's a needle in a haystack. That is true. And that's not my words. That is other cases of law enforcement talking about it.
Yeah, and you have to be able to convict. You know, like we talk about, you can indict a ham sandwich, as they say. You can get charges on somebody, but if you can't make them stick, then it's pointless. You have to make a case that's going to hold up when you put a jury of their peers up and make a case to them.
Well, I mean, not to cross cases, but we go back to the Quentin Simon case when people were coming out of their skin that they didn't have Leilani in jail. And then here comes the DA with 19 indictments and explained, now that we have found Quentin, we're ready to move forward. Because an indictment is one thing, but a conviction is different. And we needed Quentin Simon to do that. And boy, did they ever. They brought in agents, FBI agents from Quantico, Virginia, to go through that landfill and find Quentin. I wish they would bring in the same agents from Quantico to go all around Ben Hill Road, the Beach Creek community, and find Summer if Pruitt thinks she's still out there. I don't know if they would, but, you know, hell.
Thank you to the mods that are there. You're doing,
Yeah,
you're
thank you.
doing
You
your
guys
best.
are doing great. Appreciate y'all.
All right, enough of that nonsense. We know how she likes her coffee. We know Summer likes French fries. We know at that time there was an Amazon wish list, which was not for Candus and Benny. It was not for Candus and Earn the Burn. It was for her and Kathy. It was camping supplies. Kathy has told us they went camping all the time. Now we get to how Candus is big mad. Old Donnie Boy has a new phone number, and somehow Cher got the number. Well, that would mean because Dawn reached out to Cher. You see, it's been years and years and years since we had the white pages or since we had the yellow pages. So to have someone's personal cell phone, we have to get it from them. Now, this is not about Cher. Hopefully, I don't get a strike for this. Fingers crossed, prayers up. This is Candus on Daisy's channel a few nights ago. We spoke about this on the members live. We have to keep it PG on here, and I don't mean prayer garden, parental guidance, if you know what I mean. Candus decided to show off her black eye. Okay. A couple of nights later, she's talking to a medical professional, Daisy, and she says, I don't know how much I can handle or live this anymore. That right there is when you get a hold of that person and you tell them you're going to have to get counseling. I suggest you go to the emergency room right now. You have to be looked at. You need a few days to get your head clear. You don't sit there and keep talking to the person and say, you've got a good heart and everybody loves you. You don't do that. I'm sorry, you don't.
No, and if you're friends,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Sorry.
No, so if you're friends with someone as you claim, which she does, I'm not making that up. She talks about how she's friends with Candus. When your friend says something like that, you step in. It doesn't become about your channel anymore. It becomes about your friend. I mean, I have a story years ago, and my friend wouldn't mind me sharing this. He's doing great now, but he had a moment like that where he started talking about doing the stuff like that to himself. And I dropped everything and made sure I got a hold of him, made sure he was okay, drove out to him, because as a friend, that's what you care. You make sure that that person's okay. Nothing else trumps that. And she should not have just been like, oh, okay, and put the thing up on screen. You see that chat? You don't put it up on screen. You stop, say, I got to go, and you check on that person if you truly care about them.
Yeah. Angel P, you're 100% right, Trev. You don't put the comment up there and say, oh, everyone loves you. Who's everyone? Angel P is a fabulous nurse. Let me tell you what, she has gone above and beyond for her patients. We know how busy doctors are and how often we see them at the hospital. It's mainly nurses that care for the patients. Angel P is a wonderful patient's advocate. And I'm sure this is pissing her off because she said, but yet she did not say that. Angel P, if you want to come up, you can, or put in chat, what is the protocol for a nurse when someone makes a desperate statement like that? Whether they're crying wolf or not, what are you supposed to do as a nurse? All right, on the channel, not this one, she put up this pony that was in the memory box, and she's showing everyone her black eye. All right, there are 3 different stories as of today, July 31st, about the eye. She fell, Dawn's grandkids, and Dawn. I'm not taking up for Dawn, but we know that when her and Dawn get down and dirty and get into it, she calls 911. I've said before, she didn't, she couldn't get a signal the day that Summer went missing, but when her and Dawn get into it, or there's YouTubers down the driveway, she's 5-bar Candus. She's got all the signal in the world. Or if she's advocating for her own ass and getting a cash app, she doesn't have a problem with signal. Have you noticed that, Trevor?
Oh, yeah. And there's this really crazy phenomenon. I want to hear a great study about this. So when Summer's brought up in chats of a panel Candace is on, her signal suddenly dies. She either just stops talking because it's not working, or she drops off panel. I don't understand if it's like the aliens are messing with us, if we've got, I don't know what it is, but there's some phenomenon because cash apps get us the best service. We've got, 5G, a million megabytes per second, all the above. But when it comes to talking about Summer, gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's up on Ben Hill Road talking to Kathy Sue, and cha-ching, she can answer all the questions in the world about coffee, French fries, and Christmas. But if somebody comes on panel and asks her anything that makes her upset, or she can't answer or doesn't want to answer, she can't say no comment. That's only for me to talk to the TBI, like we've heard other parents of missing children do, and we respect it and we understand it. She loses signal. All right, here we go. There she is with her aviator shades on and her headset that Earn the Burn complimented her on. Look at you, Candus. You got all straightened up and got yourself a headset. She said, come on, you old stranger.
I got my shades on.
I don't blame you. I got the top of my head. I can.
You don't want to see my face. That's why I put my shades on.
Well, I don't like showing mine either, but it's better than the top of my head. I've been sick, so it's dark in this room that I'm in. I'm out in the porch, out in the mist or what, but
no, it wasn't talked on here because I didn't want it on here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll be here with you. We'll sit here and talk to you and hang out with you and
glad
be
you
here
took off
for
your
you.
glasses.
Maybe I
you
should
talking?
come back on. No, I got a black
Started my
eye.
YouTube channel.
I got a black eye and I don't want nobody really to see it.
We love
How
you,
I did
Candace.
yesterday.
We love you.
I love you guys.
And we're here for you, baby. Make
Yeah,
no
that's all
mistake
you
about
need.
that. Make
And
no
I'm
mistake.
glad that like Miss Daisy were talking. Only a little, because I can't believe what some of them are doing. They're just awful people.
They
I
still
have
talking to one I'm not gonna say it in an evil way. One woman I cannot stand. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
One person you don't like.
Groundbreaking. One person you don't like. Now, it has been said that she's pissed that Dawn is talking to Cher. I'm waiting for the elevator to go all the way to the top and for Candus to realize that for Cher to have his new number, he would have had to have contacted Cher. Now, let's not forget a few weeks ago, the person she didn't like was Prayer Garden. She said, we can't talk about Summer. We're not here to talk about Summer. We're here to talk about PG and how evil she is. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf said grand jury indictments won't ever be announced that are connected to a child's case, especially if CSA is involved. It's to protect the children. Now, in Tennessee, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, not connect me, correct me. In Tennessee, they will announce the indictments, but the CSA would be left out. Is that correct, Trevor?
Yes, as far as I know, if they had the indictments and they were ready to produce a warrant from them, they would it would be announced. But there would be a lot redacted if it had to do with children.
And in Tennessee, would Daisy be considered a mandated reporter if Candus is saying that this black eye is from domestic violence?
Yeah, I would think so. I know everyone here is a mandated reporter of child abuse. So you should speak up about anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know she's evil and I know she's mean. And I know she's only trying to get information out of him.
Yeah, that's what the worst
I'm
part
sorry.
is.
I think the question is, and we spoke about this on the members live, again, we have to keep it PG for the public. She said, I know she's just trying to get information out of him. Well, if you're trying to find your daughter, what would it matter? What information is she worried about Dawn giving to Cher?
Right. It's each time that we hear this, or like in the beginning when she apparently was trying to talk to Hunter and worried about what he's going to say. If there's nothing that that you did wrong, why are you worried what people are going to say?
Let's elaborate on that because that is a great point. June 17th of 2021, she made a special trip with a missing daughter, not with Summer in the car or anything. She made a special trip over to Allie's house to ask what they had been telling the TBI. During the McDonough interview, this was mentioned. Hunter and Allie were kind of talking amongst themselves. Allie mentions that the TBI said not to speak to Candus Wells. I don't know about you guys, but no law enforcement around here has ever told anyone not to talk to me. There's a reason they did not want Candus to speak to Hunter, and I'm guessing his mother. Hunter comes back and says, I'm not afraid of her. Allie calls the business card that she had, the TBI, and told them that Candus was there wanting to know what they had said to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. They called back and they wanted to know what vehicle she was in. We're probably going to have to revisit that interview. What do you think, Trev?
It's always good to go back. Things we miss, and I think those kind of things are important, no matter how old they are.
And so for the people that are advocating and going hard in the paint for Candus, Maybe they need to look at some nuggets of truth that are in this case. Of course, they're not giving us updates. Would you? If you were on this case, would you tell people what was going on behind the scenes?
Absolutely not. And see, we want to know what's going on, but if you care about justice for Summer, then you would agree that the integrity of the case and overall justice is more important than getting a little information. Because if they gave us too much and it hurt the case, that would be horrible. I mean, we'd much rather not hear anything, and then the day of something's produced and there's an arrest, then we hear everything. Because if this goes to trial, you're going to hear everything. That's how, same thing with Evelyn's case. We didn't know for a while even how she passed, but then they had to bring it up in court and we heard. So everything comes up in due time.
And it was horrible what we heard about what happened to little baby Evelyn Boswell. Just like, so many people were screaming about Letitia Stout. They said, I want to see the body cam. It was said in a press conference, there's no body cam. Yet, lo and behold, here we are at trial. And remember, this is how law enforcement phrases things for the public. There's no body cam. They don't mean anywhere in the world. They mean not in my damn briefcase ready to show you right now. People were saying, well, I believe that Letitia was just used by Al. She couldn't have done anything. She wouldn't have. She was the only one taking care of Gannon. Here we come to trial, and it's 10 times worse than the probable cause affidavit that already curled our toes. So in these trials, everything comes out. Everything they've been working on since day one.
Yeah, look at Idaho. Everybody thought that they had nothing. And I know it didn't take 2 years, obviously, but they thought for a while that they had no suspect, no idea who did it. And then lo and behold, they fly across the country and pick up Brian Wiegenberger, and he's in jail for it now.
Good old Bushy. Yeah. And people are saying, there's no body cam from the SWAT team. Rest yourselves. I guarantee there's something. They're just not showing us. It's okay. It's okay.
And
they can trick you into saying something.
And he refuses to listen to me about her.
I'm sorry. Well, maybe tomorrow will be a better day, and maybe you can talk to him. Maybe I'll have a little talk with him, Candus.
Yeah.
Because he needs a little talking to.
Yeah.
All right, so Daisy says, maybe I'll have a talk with him. Maybe he needs a little talking to. Well, now, if you get, and I've had conversations with Don. They don't really go well. Trev, I know you've had conversations with Don because he called you the N-word and went on Daisy's, not Daisy, but PG's channel and said you were trying to steal Justin from his husband, so it didn't go well for you either. So if you were going to have a talking to with Don, and you know that Candus is worried about him talking to Cher because she's trying to get information from him, what talking to would you have with Don?
Yeah, there's nothing, and I don't know what she thinks she's going to get across to him. Like, Don's not the person that you're probably going to get across to. Like, he's got his own ideas, and that's what he's going to do. If he thinks something, that's what he's going to run with. You're not going to sit there and change his mind. And if you try, he's going to get upset.
Well, my husband even tried to talk to Don and said the best thing you can do is find someone at TBI that, you can tell everything to. If you're not comfortable with one, find another. They're there to help. And tell them what you know and what she's told you. Well, that went over like a turd in a punch bowl because Don told my husband he could whip his ass.
Well, the whole phone call that I had with him all started because I said going on YouTube and cussing out YouTubers isn't helping. That's all I said. And then that turned into, the N-word and I'm going to put you in the ground and all that good stuff.
But this is very telling that she is worried about someone getting information from Don. Would you not say, I'm glad that Dawn is putting everything together in hopes of finding Summer? She flat out said she's just trying to get information from him. Daisy says, I'm going to call Dawn and give him a talking to. You old stranger. How dare you even tempt another YouTuber from taking my damn views? Damn you. You need to talk to me. You need to talk to me. Don't you dare be talking to Share or Prayer Garden. Don't you dare. What's the problem with giving information as long as it gets to 1-800 TBI find, which has been scrolling at the bottom of this the bottom of the screen for over 2 years.
The better he, because they just turn everything he says around.
He needs his ass whooped. Well, get on it, big girl. He needs his ass whooped. Candus is big mad. Woo! I see a mud fight coming, and not the type that Kathy and Candus used to have. He needs his ass whooped. Woo! I don't know how DT Driver would take it if I said he needs his ass whooped. Trev, you've talked to my husband before. How do you think if I was on YouTube public and told everybody DT Driver needs his ass whooped?
Don't think he'd be a big fan.
Oh, I have a feeling I wouldn't have a channel anymore. I have a feeling that my laptop would be in the damn Arkansas River. DT Driver needs his ass whooped. He'd be doing a U-turn. He'd come home and say, I got an ass whooping for you. Get to swimming. There's your computer. I got you. He needs his ass whooped. Woo! Don't you dare give any information out about June 15th.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset with him right now. I ain't lying about it.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, well,
yeah. We love you though, and we're here for you guys. And I pray that he walks away from this. I thought he didn't want to get on YouTube anymore. He's not going to get on YouTube anymore, is he?
No, he's not on YouTube, but he talks to them in silence.
He's not going to get on YouTube, is he? What could be worse than that? I thought he was done with YouTube. He's not going to get on YouTube, is he? No, he just talks to him in silence. Have you ever talked to anyone in silence, Trevor?
It doesn't usually work that well.
So what, does he sign language? Is he doing FaceTime with Cher and using sign language?
See, I think it's more like a Morse code thing. Like,
okay, how does Morse code work? So for A, it's 1. Okay, B is 2. I'm going to send you a message, Trev. What did I say, Trev?
I lost you.
Okay, I tried. All right, I tried. What to do? Needs his ass whooped.
Old stranger.
That old stranger needs his ass whooped. No, Daisy's verklempt. I didn't think he was getting back on YouTube. No, he's not on YouTube. He's just talking to him in silence. I wouldn't be silent. Your daughter's missing, Dawn. And if you've got information that Can't is afraid you're going to give to Cher, because you know Cher's going to spread it, then you need to be talking to him. You already told Earn the Burn that you don't know where Dawn was that day. You can't tell me that if somebody opened up the basement door that Summer Wells did not recognize, she wouldn't scream bloody murder or run upstairs herself. We have seen Candus show Chris McDonough the dungeon. You can't run down the stairs at that time. They actually have stairs now. You have to turn your big ass around and you have to crawl down it backward. Chris McDonough was asking to use the door like a human being. She's like, nope, you can do it like this. But Summer is a little girl. If somebody opened up that basement door, she could easily get up those stairs or start screaming. It had to, if this happened, be someone she knows.
Well, Candace said herself on, I believe it was June 18th, you showed the screenshot earlier, that she didn't wander off. She said, yeah, you're right. She didn't walk off or wander off. So if that's the case, because even if she was taken at the road, she'd have had to wander to the road if somebody was just down there. I know that's the theory that she walked down and then was taken. But if Candace just knows she didn't wander off, then somebody had to come up on the property to get her.
Yep. It's on
I'm just using Candace's words.
These are Candace's words from June 18th of 2021. June 18th of 2021. Now, this is after different stories that she was spreading in news articles. She said, you're right, she didn't just walk off. Take a screenshot. Share this. And people wonder why the FBI and TBI can't put this together. These are her words. You're right. She didn't just walk off. Now we flash forward to 2023, where she says she doesn't want Donnie given any information to this person she dislikes. Of course, she loves everybody. She's got a big heart. We know she has a big heart. Doesn't want him giving out any information. I wonder why. And he needs his ass whooped. Well, Daisy's on the case.
And then they put it on
a lot of them
certain individuals. And most of them are recording him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
That's what makes him mad, is he thinks he's talking to him, and then they put it on YouTube.
Yeah. And I guess it irritates me more than anything, because he tells me, like, not to talk to YouTubers, but yet he can still do it.
Oh, man. He tells her not to talk to YouTubers, but yet he can still do it. Well, obviously, he doesn't have a firm grip on the household, because looks to me like she's on YouTube.
That's going to be so hard to who to trust, because I don't even know who to trust, and I'm not involved, so I can imagine how lonely and hard it is for you.
It's just like, he tells me not to talk to YouTubers and go on live and stuff, but why is it okay for him to do it, kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then when I do it, he gets mad, and
Well, we're just talking. We're not talking really nothing. We're just talking smack, though, right? We're not talking about anything important.
This poor lady doesn't even know the pile of lady poo-poo she stepped into. We're just talking regular talk. There's Candus, right? You just said you're afraid that Dawn's going to say something. They just want information. Here's a reason that Dawn may not want her on YouTube. Okay? This was from about a month ago.
Maybe you have to be quiet.
Baby. Tell me.
Well,
I love you. Love you. Bye.
Dawn doesn't have time for all those sappy sentiments. I love you. I love you. And he's just like, STFU. I've got business to do here on YouTube. Now we rewind to the spring of 2022.
But as far as being in love with him anymore, I am done. He just doesn't understand how and what I feel.
Right.
She's done. She said it's about to be slash day. She even went on to say she's not comfortable with the whole script. I've never understood how that could leak out. I'm not comfortable with the whole script, and nobody go and say, we need you to come in and talk to us. Of course, she has the right to refuse. We have a constitution. What did you think when she said she's not in love with Don anymore, but then she's at the no-tell motel going, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. And he's like, shh, shh, sit down. I still want to know how the broken ankle got fixed so fast, the broken rib, the pacemakers, and the stroke. That is a lot. That is a lot of bad health all at once, Trev.
I mean, it's miraculous. I mean, it was one day everything, and the next day none. I mean, what? I mean, sounds like a
Well, I know Don said that he prayed over her. Well, if that's all it takes, why don't you pray over your own property and find Summer? If you can cure all those things with your praying hands, Don, why don't you pray over your own damn house and property and bring Summer to another home, not yours?
So it's not like we're trying to pull things out of you like a lot of them try to do with him. Well, I'm not blaming him either, but that's what a lot
Well,
of
you're a human being and you deserve to be treated like one.
yeah.
And I love you, and I don't.
I know, I love you guys too.
Just talk nicely to you like a person and include you in part of.
I love everybody though. I can't like.
That's what I always see
Not
you
just
saying.
like love one person. I like even though Justice for All and PG and all of them have been evil to me or hateful towards me, I still love them. They're God's children.
Justice for All, PG, are Don's children. What is Summer Wells? What are her 2 children from Wisconsin? What are her 3 children that are in foster care in Tennessee? Is she not worried about how her children were treated in foster care? Her daughter ran away. She was a missing child for a while because of the way she was treated in that foster home. Is she not worried about the treatment her sons are receiving in foster care? But since PG and Justice for All are God's children, she loves them.
So she says Candus deserves to be treated like a human. I agree, everybody does. But what about, like you said, what about our kids that were taken from her? Would they deserve to be treated like? Because clearly 2 different states found it that she was unfit to parent them. That's why they were taken. We don't know the details, especially in the one and with the boys, but we know how that works. They don't just take kids for fun. If they have a court order to take your kids and to keep them for over 2 years, there's a reason for it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So what did they deserve to get treated like? Because clearly there's a reason that you were deemed unfit to parent your own kids and they were taken from you. What do they deserve?
What do they deserve? I mean, she's got her headphones on talking to an old stranger. If Pruitt says she's around there somewhere, why aren't you out there looking for her? We know that Dawn prayed over your ankle, your ribs, your heart, and your stroke. So you're fit as a fiddle. Go out there and find her. Thank you, Kat, for the super sticker. Kat said Candus is next to godliness. She loves you too, Kat. She loves everybody. She loves everybody.
It's just like, and I hear a lot. I hear the Wells don't owe us anything, right? Then people ask about the timeline. They don't owe you anything. They don't. I'm just some guy from East Tennessee who cares about the case. You don't have to tell me crap. But what you do owe is your kids. You owe them better, and you owe Summer better. So if you don't want to tell us anything, go tell law enforcement. Step up for her, because you don't owe us anything, but you owe Summer, and you owe those kids who were taken from you better. That's who you owe. We don't deserve crap, but Summer does.
Well said. Well said. We don't need to be entertained. We have lives of our own. This isn't entertainment for us. There's a little girl missing. But if you have something to say, 1-800-TBI-FIND. Well said, Trev. You're on fire today, Trev.
Ooh,
And I
frustrating.
cannot change that.
Yeah.
I wish that they would see that that you're not the bad person that everybody thinks that you are, that you have a heart and everything, and that you
Shallow
don't,
people.
you know,
Yeah.
you're not a mean person, you're a nice person, you're a good-hearted person, and you care about other people, you know.
I really do. I care about everybody. Like,
Mhm.
these are people I don't even know.
I know. And you don't, and you even said it the other day that you love Justin.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
he's a
bless you for
person.
that.
He's a child of God. Why would I not?
Exactly.
Well, we
Exactly.
love them. I guess we don't love their behaviors. How's that?
We might
Well,
not like what they do
Right,
and their
right.
opinions and stuff,
Yeah.
but we
I
still
don't
have
hate
to love them
anybody
because
either.
they're a
Yeah.
child of God.
that's right. That's
Love's
a
a
good way of
strong
thinking
word.
about
Yeah.
things,
That's when
Candy.
you know you are a good person. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to be
And
good to everybody.
maybe once baby Summer's found, and maybe all that can, people realize that you was telling the truth all along, and you know that.
I have no reason to lie to anybody.
I know.
I have no reason to lie to anybody. Let's rewind. Let's talk about some of her lies. Trev, you want to start?
I mean, where do we start? Where do you want to pick it up at?
She had no signal on her phone, so had to use her mom's phone to call 911, but she called Dawn first. I'm going to say BS because her phone works just fine when she's calling 911 about Dawn, trespassers, or getting a cash app. She said that she was planting flowers. Well, she told 911 that, or told Dawn because it got repeated to 911 that she went on a walk or a run. Now, that could be a walk over to that tin can on wheels, her mother's camper, to plant flowers. I don't know. She said she searched for 20 minutes. Now, she posted a picture of her son on Facebook at 6:03, and 911 was called at 6:34. She said she searched for 20 minutes. She looked under a mattress that was on the concrete floor, blankets. She flew down the driveway faster than Jody Sue could see, came back and told Dawn. So let's do some math here between 6:03 on Facebook and 6:34. In that time, you have to fly down the driveway faster than anyone could see. You have to call Dawn. You have to call 911 and search. This is after she went into the house and asked the boys, "Where's your brother?" Thank you, Pink Phoenix, for the super sticker. She has no reason to lie. She just said that.
I don't know about Jackie Dobbs. I've just heard about him. I don't know about Jody Stu. I've talked to Jody Stu time and time again, and every time she talks to me, her story has changed.
Like in how? Like in how?
Okay, like, for instance, like, she said that she was down on the bottom after she heard somebody scream or whatever. She was never at the bottom of that driveway. I drove down there faster than she could fucking fly.
Okay. So she said, so the scream, of course, is out of the question now, right? There was no scream, right?
There's no scream, dude. She's maced all that shit up. Lie. I can't lie. It's not in my Mo-tabolizm.
Okay.
Now, if she was standing down there, was that after Summer had came up missing?
I don't know when she got down there. I just know when I drove down to my mom's truck, she was down there.
Okay.
Was she already looking, or was she doing something different?
She was just standing on the corner.
Very, very interesting.
Right.
Was it surprising, you coming down the drive knowing your daughter?
Yeah, because usually Jody Sue don't walk around.
Why? I can't lie.
Usually Jody Sue don't walk around like she would know. She was just standing on the corner. Usually she don't walk around. Lie, I can't lie. It's not in my metabolism. What corner is on that dead end road? She was standing on the corner. The corner of what? The corner of the earth? There's no corner.
Also, she said Jody Sue doesn't go on walks. Well, if I remember correctly, Candus is the one that was said to have gone for a run or a walk. Does she go on walks? Don't think so.
The Jane Fonda of Ben Hill Road. The Richard Simmons of Ben Hill Road. What an exerciser. With that bad heart, stroke, and everything like that. Woo! I feel inspired to get to the gym. I'd like to know when Grandis woke up from her nap. And I want to know why Grandis believed the minutes Candus told her that Summer had been abducted, why Grandis, the grandmother, didn't say, "Are you high? What do you mean abducted? We've only been home a few hours. She's got to be around here somewhere." She said, "I knew she had been abducted." Uh-huh.
Oh,
I mean, what would I gain out of lying?
I know. I know.
What would I gain out of lying? She said. Mo-tabolizm Monday. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What would I gain out of lying? Well, it looks like for the last 2 years, a lot of cash apps.
Yeah, and feel how you want about it. I'm not just bringing this creator up because what he said yesterday, but Benny played that same video yesterday, and when she said that, he said, "I don't know, maybe staying out of prison." I'm like, what do you mean? What do I get out of lying? If you did something, you get your freedom is rooted in your lies. If you are responsible for what happened that day, that's an if still, but if you are, then your freedom is rooted in why you're lying. You are lying to cover your own self. It's not in your metabolism. It's in your interest because you want to stay out of jail. If you did something, that's what you're doing.
I mean, Adam Montgomery lied for a long time to stay out of jail. I mean, we know many. We can go all day. Look at Megan Boswell. Look at all the tales she spun. What do I get out of lying? Well, for whatever reason, you're not cooperating with the authorities. Why would she not do that? What does she gain? Here's a question for everyone. Trev's in the hot seat, so I'm going to start with him. What does she gain? I'm not talking about Dawn. I'm not talking about Grandis. What does Candus, or as it says on the screen, Leroy Bly? That's what it says. I guess she thinks she's funny. What does Candace Wells gain by not cooperating with the police? Does that help Summer Wells at all? Trev, you're in the hot seat. What does she gain by not discussing the events of June 15th with Detective Pruitt or the agents at TBI?
Absolutely nothing. And it goes back again to she does not owe us anything, but she owes Summer better. She owes Summer to cooperate with authorities because that's what's going to bring her home. They wouldn't be asking these questions if they didn't think that's what's going to bring Summer home. They don't ask questions for fun. The agents don't get up and go, "Well, let's go quiz her on her favorite car, and then we'll ask her about her pizza toppings." No, they ask questions that they think will help find Summer Wells. So if she is not answering those questions or not cooperating, she is hurting their efforts to find her daughter. Not my daughter, not yours, not anybody else on YouTube that she blames. Her daughter. She's stopping them from finding her daughter if she doesn't cooperate.
Yeah. 100%. Who would not cooperate with the authorities if your child is missing? With all this money she's collecting, I would get a defense attorney and I'd say, you can talk to him. This is all I know about June 15th. But she's currently texting people saying I need money for cigarettes. Probably because Don needs his ass whooped.
Oh, Candus, I know. I
don't understand. I guess I don't know.
Well, when people can't figure it out, they're going to go to the closest thing to blame instead of just waiting and trying to. They come up with.
But I mean, like, if it was them and they were in my shoes, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you did that, and I know you did that." I couldn't do that.
Right.
I mean, I never can. I never.
She said she suspects Jody Sue. She suspects Andy. She suspects Jackie Dobbs. She even said she's not sure about Dawn. So who is she acting high and mighty, saying, I could never do that? She told, I believe it was Earn the Burn, I don't know where Donnie was that day. All I can do is keep up with my kids. Well, as if that wasn't laughable, because she didn't keep up with her kids because she's got 3 in foster care and 1 missing. Who is Leroy Bly here to say, I would never do that? Look at all the damn people she's accused. And here's a disclaimer. We're not accusing anybody of anything except for what we know. We know that she's had children removed by the state of Wisconsin and the state of Tennessee, and that Summer Wells is missing. We do not know what happened June 15th. If everything was sewn together on June 15th, we wouldn't be here today. If it made sense to law enforcement, then we wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be an open criminal investigation. Did I say that right, Trev?
Absolutely, 100%. And I don't know why she said she wouldn't accuse anyone. Maybe she needs to go talk to Dawn and Tim about accusing people. Dawn's accused basically everybody, and Tim's accused people. Dawn and Tim say I'm a suspect, so, there's that.
You were accused of being a suspect, Trev. Chris McDonough
Tim said I was a suspect. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chris McDonough was accused. Candus said she doesn't know if Allie came up the dog trail and got Summer. Now, if the 100, and do not come after me and say I'm fat shaming, but if the 120-pound news anchor was having a hard time getting down the dog trail, how the hell do you think Allie made it up the dog trail, got into the basement, got Summer, and went back down it?
I think Allie has a safe alibi for that specific scenario.
Yeah, I would think so.
Will be able to.
And you took Summer everywhere and did things with her and the boys. I seen it on Facebook. Now all these lies is being told that y'all never took the boys and Summer anywhere and did anything with them. You did all the time, didn't you?
You had plenty of pictures.
I've been everywhere for them kids. Yeah, Donnie didn't, but I did.
Yeah,
you took them everywhere and did things with them, didn't you?
Woo! Woo!
My
Lord. Candus is big mad. The heat is on. I need some Glenn Fry music. The heat is on. It's on the street. All right. She goes, I did everything with them kids. Donnie didn't. But she said she can't sit on any channel and accuse people of things. Well, I thought she said early on in the case that Donnie has to work all the time.
Yeah, and it almost pains me to take up for a man who has said the things he has said and done, but she can't take those kids anywhere if someone doesn't work, and she wasn't working. So if he was out there going on the trips with them, there wouldn't be any trips. Somebody has to make money. Not taking up for Don, but the man had to work, and he did work. That's how they had money.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what she's really trying to spin there. Like, yeah, I took the kids out, like my husband was like doing that like work thing. So like I could have the money to take them. But, I was the one like taking them. Like, what?
Donnie didn't. Donnie didn't. Them kids, wouldn't you say I took my kids everywhere? See, it's more distancing herself from what's going on. This is not a script. This is how she talks. I would never say them kids talking about my children. I'd say my children, my boys, my sons, not them kids. My kids would even say, whose kids? What kids? I took them kids everywhere. Donnie didn't. Does anybody in here refer to their children as them kids? I've never heard that one before. She blows my damn mind every day.
Candus.
Yes, I did.
Well, Donnie had to work, so that,
well, yeah, well, we ain't gonna go there, but
this is actually something very important, Candus said. All right, Daisy doesn't even realize the can of worms she opened. As you remember, back in the spring of 2022, she said, I don't know where Donnie was that day. I can only keep up with my kidses. All right, here's Daisy saying, well, Donnie had to work. She was, yeah, well, we won't go there. Listen again. It's hard to hear it over the bus that's being ran over Dawn. Not that I'm taking up for Dawn, but listen.
Long, that
I have no reason to lie to anybody.
I know.
I mean, what would I gain out of lying?
I know, Candus. I know. I
don't understand. I guess I don't know.
Well, when people can't figure it out, they're going to go to the closest thing to blame instead of just waiting and trying to. They come up with.
But I mean, like, if it was them and they were in my shoes, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you did that, and I know you did that." I couldn't do that.
Right.
I mean, I never can, and I never will be able to.
And you took Summer everywhere and did things with her and the boys. I seen it on Facebook. All these lies is being told that y'all never took the boys and Summer anywhere and did anything with them. You did all the time, didn't you?
You had plenty of pictures.
I've been everywhere for them kids. Yeah, Donnie didn't, but I did.
Yeah.
You took them everywhere and did things with them, didn't you, Candus?
Yes, I did.
Well, Donnie had to work. So that,
yeah, well, we ain't gonna go there, but whatever.
But
man, I could go get my thing right now. That's got a stack of pictures, and I could lay them out here on the floor, and I could show you guys all.
Yeah, we're not concerned, Miss Mo-tabolizm. Well, we're not going to go there. So we went from he has to work all the time. He's never home. When he gets home, he's too tired to be around the kids. Even when Summer wants to twirl, run, or play on her swing, well, we're not going to go there. Maybe the cookie's crumbling. I don't know. What says you, Trev?
Well, like I told you, I thought that was a perfect opportunity to segue into June 15th. Talking about Don working or not. That's a big question about June 15th. Was he at work? Law enforcement may know, but we don't. Don says he was. We don't know if it's been confirmed. So that's the question. So if that comes up, you've got her mad at him. You can easily bring that up, even if she's not going to answer, or at least bring it up behind the scenes. If you're not going to talk about it in there, ask her. Okay, so you obviously have feelings about Don saying he works all the time. Was he at work the day Summer went missing? Was he at work all day the day Summer went missing?
Perfect segue, Barbara Wawa. You could have said, well, on June 15th, was he at work? And see what she would say. I would have. She's the one that put it out there in the universe. That's when Leroy Bly, aka Candus Bly Wells, and whatever else she goes by, can't. When she goes, well, I don't know about that. We'll get to that another day. She says, well, today's a good day. So where was he June 15th? Some people say he was home at 3:30 in the afternoon. Wouldn't that be easy to say? Well, he took off early that day. She told Earn the Burn, and I'm not saying he was home at 3:30. Do not spread that. I'm not saying that. It's just, more internet rumors. Don says when he got there was 2 police cars. He has said before, when he got there, the police weren't there yet. So what's going on? Where was Dawn? Candus? Well, we're not going to go there. That's for another time. What would you guys have asked Candus? And I'm not picking on Daisy. It seems that Daisy's not really up on the case, okay? It's more of a chat room type of thing for her. Just kind of a chat type of thing. So don't think I'm picking on Daisy. If this was me and I allowed Candus on my panel, which I wouldn't do, but if for some reason she made it up here, if she said, well, we'll talk about that another day, I'd say, well, was he working June 15th? What time did he get off? Was he home all day? Because I know you being the helicopter mom you are, you wouldn't have left the boys home by themselves. Was Dawn actually home? What would you ask, Trev?
Absolutely. I would have said, okay, so obviously you have, saying something about Dawn not working. So can I ask you on June 15th, was he at work all day? Did he come home during the day? Was he at work when Summer went missing? Something like that. You get and see, again, like we talked about before, is you can also gauge reactions. You may not always get straightforward answers, but the way people react is a big indicator. So if she goes, you ask how he was, what he did, if he was at work all day, her response tells a lot. If she says, yes, he was, law enforcement figured it out, like checked, he was, okay. But if, you get one of those, like, I'm not saying you would, but if you got that, you start reading between the lines.
Yeah.
But if you don't ask, you don't know.
Lisa Durr said, Candus is saying Don doesn't work as much as he says he does. And that goes without saying. My question is, does he work as much as Candus says he does? Because she changed her tune after he went to jail, when she was talking to Ernie and Benny and said I don't know where he was that day. Now she's saying when she went, she changed her tune. Donnie works all the time. So it's not about for me, it's not about what Dawn says. It's more about what she says. Because the truth is in there somewhere. It's got to be. Nobody can lie constantly all the time. We already know that it's not in Candus's Mo-tabolizm because she can't keep a story straight. People say, well, it's because she drinks so much. Well, it's because of this. It's because of that. You got to be sober sometime and you would remember the events. She's in shock. Is she? I don't know. When we heard her Q&A with Kathy, she was refreshed and talking about vanilla creamer in her coffee.
It should have been about Summer then, and it should be about Summer now. But here we have conversations about everything else. Coffee and this and that and the other and what I was doing. I mean, it's just, how's your day? Oh, it's great. I did this and no. Let's talk about what matters here.
ABBA86 said Dawn's boss confirmed he was at work that day. Now, I have heard this, but I've never seen anything published. I've never seen anything about it. And if he told that to a YouTuber, my question is, What time did he get there? What time did he leave? I don't know. But
Well,
Candus, go ahead.
So I'm sorry. I was just saying, I'm sure he was at work that day. The question is, was he there all day? Did he leave for a short amount of time, a long amount of time? Not that that makes him a criminal. You can leave work, but that changes the circumstances from you being there from the start of the day till Summer went missing, or you came home for a little bit. That changes things.
Yeah. And too many things have changed in this case, and none of them benefit Summer Wells. None of them. Her biggest advocate leading Summer's army should be her mother, her grandmother who lived there, and her father. But all we get is disassociation and deflection. They don't have to talk to YouTube. But I would love to hear from Ronnie Lawson clearing up what Kathy has said, what Daisy has said, and saying they've cooperated from the beginning. Well, no, we need that from law enforcement. Some of the same people saying this are the ones saying that Brandy and Tyler aren't really cleared in Michael Vaughn's case. That the police twisted, they didn't say cleared, they said they're fully cooperating and not a focus of this investigation. That's not enough for them with Michael Vaughn. But with Summer, they say no. Ronnie Lawson's lying.
If they named a list of 4 persons of interest or suspects in Summer's case, like they had in Michael Vaughn's case, and none of them were Dawn, Candus, or Grandis, then I think we'd get the idea that those people are probably involved. They don't name suspects for fun, and they don't put your face out there and say, we're looking for these people because they want to ask you how your day was.
Nope. And there was no reason for the sheriff, as bad as he can be, as bad as he is, to stir that up for no reason. Because they could sue him. Don't think that they couldn't sue him and say, what are you talking about? I call every day. I've had many sit downs with you. They could have sued him easily.
Right. He knows why he did everything. Everything is calculated. Like when Pruitt comes out publicly and says one thing what they say behind the scenes, but when Pruitt on camera says the CPS case bleeds over into Summer's case, he said that for a reason. That wasn't an accident. When the DA said, things are complicated because the players in the case, I believe was his wording, he didn't say that by accident. When Ronnie Lawson stood up and said the family is not cooperating, they have attorneys, he didn't say that by accident. And when Leslie says that they're investigating the circumstances leading up to Summer's disappearance, she didn't say that by accident.
Leading up to. Remember, you're exactly right, Trev. Leading up to. Well, if she wandered off, what do you mean leading up to? They have a way of saying certain things. And this case with CPS will be over soon because they're supposed to be in court next month. And maybe then charges will come down about the neglect, endangerment, and whatever happened to the boys. We just have to keep praying, keep our fingers crossed, keep talking about Summer Wells, sharing her picture. Just keep it going. Because, not calling Pruitt, not calling and leaving messages for Ronnie Lawson, not calling 800 TBI find, saying that I got a deck of tarot cards from Amazon and it showed me where Summer was. Not stuff like that. But the more we keep sharing, it really does make a difference because someone's got to fight for Summer. Her mother, I'm saying that tongue in cheek, is more upset about Don talking to Cher, saying he needs his ass whooped, than what Don did to his younger sister. She stayed with Dawn. Let's say that Candus knew nothing about his extremely inappropriate relationship. And I mean that, I don't mean relationship in that way. Inappropriate interaction with his younger sister. Let's say she knew nothing about it. Nothing. So when it came out after Summer's disappearance, I would say most women would have said, get the hell away from me. How do I know you didn't do anything to our daughter? She stuck by him.
And she has been seen hanging out with teenage boys. She should explain that. That's not okay at all. Doesn't matter that it's a woman hanging out with younger boys. If it was the other way around, if we had pictures of Dawn laying there with a teenage girl, I think people would be very upset. Rightfully so, might I add. Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
But
Rightfully so.
hanging out with teenage boys, rubbing her fingers through his hair, whatever else she's doing is not okay either.
When it came out from Jose, what happened between, and I say that as lightly as I can because it's YouTube, what happened between Hunter and Candus when Hunter was on Chris McDonough and said the twisted tea was for me and she owed me a vape. Dawn already knows her timeline doesn't make sense, and he knows that the TBI had told him, we need you to help us with her timeline. Keep talking to her and let us know. He should have pulled an Al Stout and said, hook me up and I'm going to call her. I'm going to record it and you guys can hear for yourself. No, instead, they're covering for each other. Nasty versus nasty. Who the hell would stay with their husband knowing that they had violated the innocence of their younger sister? Who would stay with their wife knowing that your daughter went missing, could not be found by all of these searches? She can't allot for the time from when she got home. And then you find out that the day your daughter went missing, she bought alcohol and a vape for an underage boy. Who would stay with her? What grandmother would lay around in that tuna can on wheels for years watching what was going on there and do nothing about it? Nothing. I have a lot of questions, but I think we all know the answers. This has been a great show, and I want to say thank you very much to our friend Trevor. Let's have a round of applause. We have a Discord live here in about an hour. And Trev, keep up the good fight.
You do the same, my friend.
Don't let people bully you into not talking about summer. And that goes for everybody. I know the heat on the street. If you talk about Summer Wells or really any missing child, and you're on a channel or have a channel, you're labeled. And they don't want you to talk about them. Some of these people take up for Dawn and Candus. They take up for Billy Joe Howell. So the rest of us that are taking up for the children are labeled tragedy pimps. Why? Because we have a monetized channel, because that's the way you get into the algorithm, or because we accept super chats so that we can keep the channel afloat, because there are expenses that go along with it. You know it, Trev.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And can I say something real quick? I know better get off, but
no, go ahead.
On the idea about people telling us that that trying to bully us and stop talking about summer, one thing that's weaponized a lot is religion. And you and I, we have similar beliefs in this. I know there's a lot of people out here in Summer's Army who do too. And we're told, like, can't cast stones, like you can't judge. Well, here's the word.
Uh-oh, Trev, you cut out.
Uh-oh, can you hear me?
Yep, you have to start over, you tragedy pimp.
Can you still hear me now?
Yep, you're perfect now.
Oh, okay, good deal. I was saying, you and I, we have similar beliefs religiously, and there's a lot of people in Summer's Army that do as well. And a lot of times it's weaponized against us. We're told, you can't judge, God wouldn't want you judging these people you don't know. You don't sit in a glass house, all these things, But I would like to quote, and this is directly from the Lord, not my words, his. Mark 9:42, he says, if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it'd be better for them if a large millstone were hung around their neck and they were thrown into the sea.
And that, you didn't write that, did you, Trev?
Nope, that's straight from our God. Those of us that believe the same way, that's straight from the mouth of Jesus. And he obviously makes it very clear how he feels about people who harm children. And so don't ever feel like, as a Christian, you're judging by standing up against these evil acts, because we have to stand up for these victims, because if we don't, nobody will.
Well, you know, besides my looks and how I talk, I was made fun of for playing Jesus Loves the Little Children. Next, they'll be saying Jesus is a tragedy pimp.
That's something they'll have to explain when they make it to the gates. I know we'll all have a lot to answer for, but I'll never have to say I turned my back on a child that needed a voice, or I stood for people that could have possibly hurt the child. I won't have to explain it.
Nope. Do you sleep pretty good at night, Trev?
I do.
Yeah. Thank you for the scripture, my friend, and thank you to all of you. I will see you at the Discord Live if I miss you there, or if I miss you in one of the Facebook groups. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I'm going to need all hands on deck, because it's probably something I shouldn't stick my toe into the water about. I'll explain it in the Discord Live. And some of you might tell me to leave it alone. So we will discuss it along with a few other things. I want to say thank you to the Mod Squad that always keeps it cool and classy, and to all of you for being the best chat and best community on YouTube and standing for what's right. And that is the victims that we talk about. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And thank you, thank you, thank you.